Mr. Abbott here, and time for another boring diagram explanation. This one is boring diagram number 45, and it involves drawing contour lines. You've got a contour map, an incomplete contour map that we took from a recent Regents exam. And let's review the rules for drawing contour lines. Okay, well, probably the first thing I should have written down was that you're going to use pencil. Whenever you're doing contour lines or profiles, you have to make sure you use pencil. You are going to make mistakes, that's fine. You need an eraser and a good pencil, and you should be all right with this. Now, rule number one is when contour lines are drawn, they're drawn at a specific interval. On this map, you can see on the bottom, they tell you the contour interval is 10 meters. That means the spacing between lines, what you're drawing your lines at, is 10 meters. So this darker line, this index contour, is 100. There's a 50 higher up on the map. So you can see this is going to go from 100. This line would be 90, and this line would be 80. So the interval is the change in value between lines. And for our map we're drawing today, we're using an interval of 10. Second thing, contour lines always connect points of equal elevation. Okay, contour lines are examples of isolines, but contour lines show a topographic field, and you're going to connect adjacent points of equal elevation. Rule number 3, there are only two things that contour lines can do. They either form a closed loop, usually indicating the top of a hill, or they hit the edges or borders of the map. Make sure that when you draw your lines, you extend your lines to the edge if they are going to hit the edge. If you don't, you'll lose credit for it. All right, rule number 4 that we have, if you've drawn your contour lines correctly, your contour lines will always separate higher values from lower values. So on a contour map, all your higher elevations will be on one side, all of your lower elevations will be on the other. Finally, you'll see on this that this map contains Stone River. Right? You've got Pebble Lake and Stone River, and when contour lines approach a stream, they actually bend. There's a characteristic bend in a contour line, and if you look at this line for 90, the bend is pointing towards Pebble Lake and the 100-meter contour line. So the general rule is if your line is approaching a stream or a river, for every single one of these lines on the map, the contour lines bend upstream. Some teachers call these a V, but it's a bend in the contour line. But it always points towards higher elevation, so the stream flow is in the opposite direction. So if we go down here, please indicate to yourself contour lines bend upstream when crossing a river. All right, so let's get to drawing the contour lines on this map. Okay, now you've got to look at all the measured values. You don't have every value, you just have certain measured values. On this one, we're going to draw the 60-meter and the 70-meter contour lines. Okay, they tend to follow each other. Doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm going to pick 60 to start with. There's actually 6 measured points or 5 measured points for the 60 meters. So I'm going to start off by putting an X. There's one over here. Here's a second contour with measured elevation of 60. Here's a third 60. Scanning the map. There's a fourth 60 up here and a fifth 60 up here. This is not playing connect the dots, because where your line goes has to make sense with the surrounding observations. So we're starting here. Here's your 60. 60 goes between 63 and 53. My line is going to extend over here. All right, I'm hitting a stream. So I want my contour line to bend. We're separating values less than 60. So 60 comes between 53 and 61. My 60 is going to go around the 63. I have to hit the point. Okay? When you're doing this, make sure your lines are continuous. Make sure every time you stop, you get a little break. So my 60 needs to come around here. It comes here. And 60 is going to exit between 57 and 64. And please draw the lines right through the map. Somewhere on your line, I would label that with a value of 60. All right, we have the 70 contour line. Okay, this time I only see 3 measured values of 70. You might have 0 measured values, but if the elevation exists, you're still going to have to draw the line. So I found 170 over here. Okay, here's my second measured 70. And the third measured 70 would go right here. So I've got 67, 69. 70 doesn't fit here. But between 71 and 69, I've got to have a 70 there. So even though we don't have a measurement here, we're going to start the line between 71 and 69. We catch the 70 here. 70 goes between the 69 and the 72. It goes between 68 and 73. I catch the 70 here. I'm approaching my stream. I'm going to bend my contour line back. I catch my 70 here. And then finally my 70 goes off. Now, your lines don't have to be exactly in the same position where mine are. As long as all your values on one side are higher and all the values on one side are lower, your line will be fine. I hope that helps you. This is a pretty easy contour map, but it illustrates a lot of the principles that we are going to have to understand about drawing and constructing iso lines. Thank you. Hope this helps.